Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Soundcore Life A2 NC, and this is a pair of active noise cancelling headphones from Soundcore, originally released around a year ago, and we're going to be looking at these to see if they're still worth it almost a year on. And this is one of Soundcore's more budget offerings in their lineup, but there's plenty of things going for them and some really interesting specifications. So starting off with the features, we've got hybrid active noise cancellation with multiple modes on board, and we're going to take a look at that as we go through the video. We've got 11mm drivers on board, giving us some really dynamic sound, and I will talk about the sound later in the video as well. We've got 6 microphones giving us clear calls with uplink noise reduction, so we're going to test that out via the call quality samples. In terms of battery life, we've got a 7-hour playtime on the buds with 35 hours in total with a charging case. We've got an IP5 water resistant rating, so fine for light rain splashes, but not okay to fully submerge in water. And then we've got a fast charge feature as well via the USB-C charging. We've got a 10-minute charge giving us an hour and a half of use, which is pretty good. And finally, and this is one of the real strengths of these buds, we've got the Soundcore app, which is giving us an array of customization, and we will be taking a look at that. So having a look inside the box, and this is one of Soundcore's kind of budget options, and whilst the box is quite nice and professional, it's not the full premium experience that you might have got with the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro or the Liberty Air 2 Pro. However, it's doing the job. Bit plasticky inside, but really nice to see there. We've got a really good quality USB-C cable. We've got 5 interchangeable ear tips in total, and 3 different wing sizes there as well. So these guys are utilising the tip and wing design, which is giving us some pretty decent security, and certainly makes these a good option for sport and activity as well. So like I said, these are a budget option, but the customization that you're getting via the Soundcore app is fantastic, and we're going to have a look at that now. So when you go into the app itself, you've obviously got the multi-mode ANC options there. So we've got transport, indoor and outdoor. We've got 2 different modes within transparency, which is fully transparent and vocal mode. Once you go into the equalizer, you've got those default settings, which you might be aware of if you've used Soundcore products before. Lots of different options there, but you can also customize any of those into your own EQ via the EQ adjustment there. It's an 8-band EQ, which is fantastic. As you can see, I've set mine up there based on a Hear ID that I've done on my Liberty 3 Pros. You can go in and change the controls. There's no single tap on these, unfortunately, so you are limited. There's a couple of options that I've not been able to set up. You've got some additional options there around updating firmware, touch tone, etc. But all in all, this app is fantastic, and it really makes this product, in my opinion. It unlocks so much potential for the sound, and in terms of that noise cancelling, so I've used all of the options in my testing, and to be honest, the only ones that I'm really using are around the transport mode, which is that full strength ANC, and then the sort of fully transparent mode in ambient mode there. So really helpful to have the other settings. The vocal mode is quite useful for phone calls. But in terms of the ANC settings there, I'm personally not finding any use for those. The other 2 lower settings, basically, it's giving you less strength on your ANC, but there might be times when you want to use those, so you might want to have a bit more awareness. You might be on on the train or something like that, and you don't want to completely block out all of the noise. So just great to have the options and fully adjustable there via the app. And in terms of the quality then of the ANC and transparency modes, it's very much what you'd expect at this price point. You're getting a really good implementation on both. They're not the best out there. They're not going to compete with your Sonys, your Bose in terms of strength. But I'm satisfied with how they perform, particularly having that adaptive options in the app is something that you won't find in some competitors around the same price point. So real credit to Soundcore for offering that at this price. And then we're going to talk about the sound quality. So again, with all that customization on board, I'd recommend that you go in and you have a full look at that and you know, find what you like in terms of the presets on those EQs. The Soundcore signature isn't going to be probably the best you can get them sounding out of the box. You know, you can improve that sound out of the box, I would say. For me, I've just given the very high frequencies quite a significant boost, because I know in terms of my own hearing that's what I need to get that sound that I'm looking for. But in terms of the rest of the frequency range, I find that it is absolutely spot on otherwise. So the bass is really nice and punchy out the box. If you boost that too much, you might find there's a bit of muddiness coming into that mix there. There's a nice sense of clarity in the mid range, and it's quite a rich sound overall, quite a warm sound. But with that boost in the treble, I'm getting some nice detail. Nice detail in sort of instrumentation, some nice sparkle in the highs actually, so impressive stuff, and a pretty decent soundstage as well considering the price. But like I said, you can go in, you can create your own EQ, you can adapt one of the presets, so the control is really with you on this. And again, one of the great selling points of this product is around that EQ and the power that you get with the app provided. And just to finish, one of the other questions that you might have around this pair is, you know, how far behind the Liberty 3 Pros are these? And to be honest, in terms of specifications, obviously there's quite a difference because the Liberty 3 Pros have got a dual driver design. But in terms of sound quality, there's quite a similar sound signature. Now, what you're getting with the Liberty 3 Pros is quite a bit more clarity and detail in the sound. But in terms of the overall feel of the product, you know, that dynamic sound, the Life A2 NC are doing a good job. They're doing a really good job at the price. Considering, you know, the price is 2 or 3 times more for the Liberty 3 Pros, these are a great option if you don't want to spend that much. You know, you've got the app, you've got great performance all round. There's a couple of cons, like I said, but overall, this is an impressive product, and, you know, I'd say still a really attractive option almost a year after its original release. Alright guys, just to wrap things up then for the video, like I said, you know, a year on, these guys for me are still offering a really solid option. If you're looking for a budget hybrid ANC pair, I'd say the Pros are great Soundcore sound, nice dynamic sound, but fully adjustable via that really powerful app. Really nice design and comfort for me, decent waterproofing, so they're good for sport and activity. On the cons, I would say, whilst the controls work really well in terms of the touch controls, because there's no single tap, you're missing out on a couple of options. So the way I've got it set up is I can increase volume, but I can't decrease volume, and I also can't reverse track. So you are going to have to make some compromises if you want to customize the controls. You know, hopefully Soundcore can look at upgrading the firmware so that we can get single tap. We've got it on the Liberty 3 Pros, so I'd like to think that would be something that they could consider doing going forward. So that's it for the review, guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. We'll finish with the call quality samples as usual. Please do subscribe if you've not already done so. Hit that like button if you found the video helpful. And with all that said, I'll see you on the next one. This is a call quality test with the Soundcore Life A2 NC in a quiet environment. This is a call quality test with the Soundcore Life A2 NC in a noisy environment.